Hi, my name is Colette Grodzicki. I teach AP Lang and 11th grade language arts here, and I've been teaching for 9 years at North Gwinnett. My teaching philosophy is to make every single thing that I do in the classroom relevant to the real world. I try to make connections for students so they can see why we do things and why we do them a certain way and how it can impact their life, not just now, but in college and when they get jobs in the real world. Writing and reading skills are imperative for that, and so that's what I focus on in my classroom every day. One of my innovative teaching strategies is a project that I do in collaboration with Kennesaw University pre-service teachers. I thought of this project when I was working on my doctorate, and the whole concept is that the students in high school need more immediate feedback on their writing, and so I thought, what a great way to get that feedback with pre-service teachers who need exposure to student writing so that they're prepared to come into the workforce. I've done this project for the past 2 years, and I've seen writing improve dramatically because students can really see how to improve their specific writing. They can talk to the pre-service teachers to get specific feedback and to ask questions, and then when I'm in the classroom, it allows me to be able to focus on those students and what they need because they can ask me specific questions about their writing without having to spend a million hours looking at a bunch of papers. So I read all of their papers, but it gives more of a focus to their revision and writing strategy so that they can improve. Relay for Life is my heart at this school, and that's where I focus a lot of my community service efforts. I have been a team captain for the last 8 years, and in that time we have had hundreds of thousands of students raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for this cause. And part of what I really believe in is that this whole community comes together to make that happen, and my involvement with that has really changed my life and changed the way I teach. So community service to me is more than just giving back to the community, it's also giving back to the school and helping me see the amazing things that students can do outside the classroom.
At the end of each year when the kids are leaving, I always say, when you talk about this class at the reunion, and you will, even though you're going to disagree, some will say I was crazy, some will say they love me, some will say it was awful. I hope we can agree on these 3 things. Mrs. Powell loved words, she loved books, and she loved us. And how do I demonstrate that love? Sometimes the kids would prefer that I be funner or less demanding. But I feel like the way I show my love is by trying to teach them that reading and writing are transformative acts, and that they can change how they see the world, how they are in the world, and how they are perceived in the world. So for a couple of years I've been working on what I call the deconstructive strategies, and it's different ways of pulling apart essays to create greater understanding. I get very proficient readers and writers, but I need to kind of help them be highly analytical very quickly. And this latest project that I'm super excited about is where students are asked to create an essay and then to put it into a PowerPoint format. And they have to create visuals that match and tell as much of a story as the text does. And essentially what I'm trying to do there is kind of like we've been trying to move furniture around in a very tight room. And now I'm just trying to create a larger room, give a little bit more space, a little bit more light, so that we can rearrange and discuss things, but it doesn't feel quite as tight and as cramped. So they put the PowerPoint into this visual format, and then it gives them a little breathing room. They don't have to worry as much about grammar, organization, and yet at the same time it allows them to be highly analytical and reflective because it is about their own life and their own communication. We're not allowed to talk to kids after they finish taking the AP exam about the exam, but about a week after the kids conclude that test, I do try to start conducting exit interviews, which I then carry over into the fall of the next year with anybody who got a 4 or 5 on the AP exam. And what I'm looking for is their top 3 things they think really influenced or helped them on the test. And over again, my top writers, the 5-4s, are the ones who come back and say that is these deconstructive strategies that have helped the most. And so that's what I anticipate with the PowerPoint reflective essay as well, that they will say this created the kind of room to allow me to think and allow me to analyze in a totally different way. We have an incredible Relay for Life team here at the school, and part of the theme each year is to put an object in classrooms that people raise money to get rid of. But last year for our Viva Las Vegas theme, they chose the Elvis cutout or standout doll that had to move around from room to room. And one of my kids pointed out, who would want to get rid of Elvis, which I agree with. So we tried to create the strategy that you were spending time with Elvis and that Elvis got to spend time with you. And classes would raise money to have Elvis be with them or to have Elvis stay with them. And I think the best part of the project, outside of the fact that it did raise money and you got to see kids really communicating and helping and being part of the team, was that everywhere Elvis went, we would take a picture of his experience and how he had changed as a result of that class or discipline. And so by the end, Elvis had a sword that he could fight with from theater. He had been to an orchestra concert. He had been out to the baseball field. He had a brand new set of intestines. You really got to be jealous of what a great day a lot of our kids get to have here at North Gwinnett.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Renner. This is my 12th year here at North Gwinnett High School, and I teach AP Calculus and both AV and BC. Well, certainly all students learn at high levels, and this has not been more prevalent here at North Gwinnett High School than currently in our math department. We have more students that graduate having been exposed to calculus in high school than we've ever had before. And in terms of my philosophy of teaching, I know that all students can understand mathematics. When they come in and say, I don't understand something, my comment to them is, you just don't understand yet. We need to look at mathematics in 3 different ways. We look at it numerically, algebraically, and graphically. And certainly we're going to hit 95% of the students in one of those areas the first time around. And then we just keep working. I keep working with them, and I'm so excited when they get that aha moment, when they say, oh, I understand this. This is fantastic. One of the challenges that we have teaching AP Calculus is getting the students to review for the AP exam on their own outside of class. We're certainly doing things in class every day as we prepare, but to get the students to make those connections outside of class has always been a challenge. So we've developed a project called the Calculus Notebook, and if you talk to any of the students that have had calculus, they know about this dreaded notebook. But it allows them to make connections between topics. Every single topic that we've discussed during the school year goes through their brain one time between the time that we begin to review and that AP exam, and they're able to make connections. Furthermore, we ask them to provide multiple choice questions and free response questions from released exams that illustrate the different topics so that they can see the depth of knowledge that's required for the AP exam. I have had more students tell me when they've come back from that AP exam that they felt prepared, they felt very comfortable with the format, and many of them said that it was that calculus notebook that forced them to make connections between the different topics that we discussed, and that it was extremely helpful. For the past 5 years, I have volunteered at the Middle School Media Center, North Gwinnett Middle School. As a child, I struggled in reading. I struggled to find books that I enjoyed reading, and I know that this has nothing to do with calculus, but it's a passion of mine to help students find books that they love, and when they find one, it inspires me. So I've been doing that for the past 5 years, and I go every Friday and help out putting books on shelves and helping the students find books and any place that they need it, and I have loved every minute of it.